Welcome dear students. In today's lecture we will see pharmacology of uterine relaxants. Myself Dr. Padmaja Kore, Department of Pharmacology, Progressive Education Societies, Modern College of Pharmacy, Nigdi, Pune 45. Now let us have an introduction of uterine relaxants. These are the drugs which are known to decrease uterine motility. They have been used to delay or postpone labor and also arrest threatened abortion and in dysmenorrhea. Dysmenorrhea is a medical term for the pain with menstruation. Prevention of premature labor in those at higher risk due to past history has been attempted by administration of high dose progesterone in latter half of pregnancy with some success. Suppression of premature labor may be needed to allow the fetus to mature, to allow time for initiating glucocorticoid therapy for fetal lung maturation. However, no clear satisfactory drug is available since none of them has been shown to improve fetal outcome. An attempt to delay premature labor is likely to succeed only if cervical dilatation is less than 4 cm. Measures to delay labor should not be undertaken if membranes have ruptured or if there is antepartum hemorrhage or in case of severe toxemia of pregnancy, intrauterine infection or fetal death. So these are some of the conditions which will not allow the delay in the labor. Common causes of bleeding during pregnancy are cervical ectropion, vaginal infection, or if there is bleeding from placental edges or placenta previa or placental abruption. Now let us see the meaning of these medical terms. Cervical ectropion is a common condition caused when cells from inside the cervical canal are present on the outer surface of the cervix. Placenta previa is a condition in which placenta partially or wholly blocks the neck of the uterus, so it interferes with the birth of the baby. Placental abruption is a condition when placenta separates early from the uterus. In other words, placenta separates before childbirth. It occurs most commonly around 25th week of pregnancy and the symptoms include vaginal bleeding, lower abdominal pain and dangerously low blood pressure. Now various category of the drugs are used as uterine relaxants and the categories are adrenergic agonist, there are calcium channel blockers, oxytocin antagonist drugs are there, magnesium sulfate along with some miscellaneous category of the drugs. Now let us go through the classes one by one. The first class is adrenergic agonist. In that, I am going to explain a prototype drug Ritodrine. It is a beta-2 selective agonist having more prominent uterine relaxant action. It is approved to suppress premature labor and to delay delivery in case of some exigency or acute fetal distress. Its dependable action is started as 50 micrograms per minute intravenous infusion and the rate is increased every 10 minutes till uterine contraction ceases or maternal heart rate increases to 120 per minute. Contractions are kept on by continuing the intravenous infusion or by 10 milligrams intramuscularly 4 to 6 hourly followed by 10 milligrams orally 4 to 6 hourly. However, treatment beyond 48 hours is not recommended since risk to mother increases and the benefit is uncertain. Delivery can be postponed in about 70% cases by few hours to few weeks. However, it is at the cost of bearing several side effects. Cardiovascular side effects are there like hypotension, tachycardia, arrhythmia, pulmonary edema, and metabolic complications are also there like hyperglycemia, hyperinsulinemia, hypokalemia, and there are some CNS complications also like anxiety, restlessness, and headache also can occur frequently. Use of ritodrine to arrest labor has been found to increase maternal morbidity. Fetal pulmonary edema can develop. Volume of intravenous infusion should be kept to a minimum to avoid fluid overload. The neonate may develop hypoglycemia and ileus. It should not be used if mother is diabetic or if she is having some heart diseases or if she is receiving beta blockers or some steroids. Ritodrine has been discontinued in the USA but is still available in UK and India. It is available under the brands Utopar, Ritorod 10 mg per ml injection, and that is available as 5 ml ampoules, 10 mg tablets, Ritodrine 10 mg tablets, 10 mg in 1 ml injection. So these are the various brand names and formulations in which it is available. And the alternative drugs to Ritodrine are salbutamol and terbutaline. So these can be used as alternatives to Ritodrine. Isoxurpine, oral or intramuscular, has been used to stop threatened abortion, but efficacy is uncertain. The another category of the drugs is calcium channel blockers. Because influx of calcium ion plays an important role in uterine contractions, calcium channel blockers reduces the tone of myometrium and oppose the contractions. These drugs, especially nifedipine, which has prominent smooth muscle relaxant action, can postpone labor if used early enough. Efficacy is comparable to beta-adrenergic agonists, and that to beta-adrenergic agonist has been demonstrated, and side effects are fewer. Oral nifedipine 10 mg repeated once or twice after 20 to 30 minutes followed by 10 mg 6 hourly has been used. Tachycardia and hypotension, however, are prominent at doses which suppress uterine contractions. Reduced placental perfusion causing fetal hypoxia is achieved. However, fewer babies delivered after nifedipine needed intensive care. Now coming to the third category of the drug, that is oxytocin antagonist. Atosiban is a peptide analog of oxytocin that acts as antagonist at the oxytocin receptors. In clinical trials, it has been found to suppress premature uterine contractions and postpone preterm delivery with fewer cardiovascular and metabolic complications than beta-2 adrenergic agonists. In Europe and UK, it is available for inhibition of labor between 24 to 33 weeks of gestation, and it may offer better benefit to risk ratio than other tocolytics. Tocolytics are the category of the drugs used to delay the delivery. However, it is not yet approved in USA and India. The another drug is magnesium sulfate. It is infused intravenous and it is a first line drug for prevention and treatment of seizures in preeclampsia and eclampsia. It also acts as tocolytic by competing with calcium ions for entry into the myometrium through both voltage sensitive as well as ligand gated calcium channels. However, its use to delay premature labor is risky. It may increase perinatal mortality and is not recommended now. And there are some category of the drugs coming into the miscellaneous category. So these are ethyl alcohol, nitrates, progesterone, general anesthetics, and indomethacin, which is known as a prostaglandin synthesis inhibitors, are the other drugs which can depress uterine contractions. However, their effect is not dependable and they are not used clinically as tocolytics. Halothane is an efficacious uterine relaxant that has been used as the anesthetic with internal and external version is attempted. Thank you.